Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Ukraine's president brings Congress to its feet after an impassioned speech to U.S. lawmakers. His message seems to unify Congress. See how the U.S. plans to respond.
The Federal Reserve takes action to slow inflation. A local expert tells us what the interest rate hike means for most of us.
And Career Jumpstart, a walk through a Rockford High School gym, gives a glimpse into the future for some area students.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Members of Congress hear a heartfelt plea from Ukraine's president. He highlights his emotional speech with a video of civilians, including children, killed by Russian forces.
Zelenskyy says more military aid is needed to stop the Russian invasion. President Biden says the U.S. will deliver. Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor has reaction as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
Zelenskyy brought up moments in U.S. history like Pearl Harbor and September 11th during his appeal to lawmakers for more help, and his message resonated across Washington. A standing ovation from Congress signaled the bipartisan U.S. support for Ukrainian President Zelenskyy and his country in their continued fight against Russia.
The American people are helping not just Ukraine, but Europe and the world to keep the planet alive.
And following Zelenskyy's pleas for more help,
I see no sense in life if it cannot stop the deaths.
President Biden announced the U.S. will send an additional $800 million in military assistance to Ukraine, including more anti-aircraft, anti-armor weapons, and drones.
This could be a long and difficult battle, but the American people will be steadfast in our support of the people of Ukraine in the face of Putin's immoral, unethical attacks on civilian populations.
The newly announced aid will come from the nearly $14 billion Congress just approved for Ukraine.
It is unheard of to hear from a leader fighting for his life, fighting for his country's future.
We have to act, and act quickly. It's not a matter of weeks, it's a matter of hours.
Democrats like Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Republicans like Ohio Senator Rob Portman remain united on further support for Ukrainians. But Washington is still split on whether to send them Polish fighter jets. President Biden has called the idea too risky.
Javelins and Stingers are defensive weapons. MiGs or planes are offensive weapons.
Zelenskyy also acknowledged the broad U.S. opposition to his biggest request, a no-fly zone over his country, and offered an alternative, weapon systems to help fight Russian planes. In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
Local Congresswoman Cheri Bustos was among those to hear from President Zelenskyy this morning. Bustos says his address brought tears to the eyes of some in attendance. She hopes Zelenskyy's speech can bring both sides of the aisle together.
This is a rally around the flagpole moment even for members of Congress. This is not a time to look back about woulda, shoulda, coulda. This is a time to do what we need to do right now. Be there for Ukraine, be there for President Zelenskyy, be there for the brave people who are fighting, in many cases, in too many cases, to their death. And I think that's really important emotionally that President Zelenskyy sees that as well.
The Federal Reserve raises interest rates in an effort to slow inflation. It's a quarter-point hike. The Fed's also increasing a benchmark short-term interest rate. 6 additional rate hikes are expected this year as well. Those will eventually mean higher loan rates for consumers and businesses. Local experts say people in debt will feel the pinch the most.
Nothing's going to happen overnight. So one of the things I'd say is, if you're thinking about possibly looking at getting your mortgage, do it soon, not next month. I would do it sooner. If you're in a HELOC, try to lock it so that it's not going to go up. If you're on credit card debt, start reducing it because that rate's going to increase for sure.
Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said today he thinks the economy is strong enough to allow the Fed to raise rates without causing a downturn. Americans cut back on their spending a bit in February as prices for food, gas, and other items soared. Retail sales rose 0.3% last month. Restaurant business went up 2.5%. Department stores saw a 1.6% hike. Online sales fell almost 4%. The February results follow a revised nearly 5% increase from December to January.
Terrifying moments in northern Japan after the region is rocked by a powerful earthquake. The 7.3 magnitude quake triggered a tsunami advisory. It also left more than 2 million homes in the Tokyo area without power. There's no word yet of any casualties or injuries. The area where the quake struck is part of the same region that spawned a deadly storm 11 years ago. That storm also famously triggered nuclear plant meltdowns at the Fukushima nuclear power plant. Today marks 2 years since the death of Patricia Friesen. She was Illinois' first official COVID victim. Friesen was a resident of Chicago's South Side. The 61-year-old was a retired nurse. Since her death, more than 3 million Illinoisans have been infected by the virus. More than 33,000 have died. Treatments have improved greatly since 2020. Several vaccines are now available. Nearly 70% of Illinois residents are now fully vaccinated. The U.S. Senate is trying to get a jump on the CDC by voting to roll back mask mandates on public transportation. A bipartisan majority of senators voted to pass the bill, which would lift mask mandates on airplanes, trains, and buses. But the proposal faces an uncertain future in the House. The White House has indicated the president would likely veto it if it got to his desk. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recently extended the mask mandate until April. The agency says 98% of Americans now live in parts of the country where it's okay to ditch masks indoors.
Belvidere's fire chief says he's ready to call it a career. Chief Al Heiser announced his retirement today. Heiser served the department for 27 years, the last 7 were as chief. Heiser says he's looking forward to spending more time with family, especially his kids and grandkids. His last day on the job will be May 15th. No word on who will step into the leadership role.
Juniors and seniors at Jefferson High School get the chance to land a job.
The Career Academy hosted a job fair. Amory Wilder attended the event. Amory, you talked to students and staff about how important opportunities like this are.
Eric and Mimi, I talked to one senior who says her job hunt is not only to put money in her pockets, but it's also bettering her family's financial situation.
I'm hoping just to find a better place to work at, a better environment.
Over 650 Jefferson High students passed through the school's gymnasium on Wednesday, including Hannah Stokes, looking for a job. This is the first time in 9 years College and Career Academy coach Charles KLUZAK has done this.
Our students have been very hesitant, and so this event, it's been great to watch all of our students and all of our companies talk together, and they're smiling and they're talking about what the next steps are.
Employers regularly visit the school, talking to students about their options after high school. While there are plenty of jobs out there, KLUZAK says it's just a matter of students applying themselves.
Instead of doing this
once they graduate and then stumble during the navigational process, they actually do it now, and it cuts years off of finding what your true profession is.
Events like this will not only help out the kids, but local companies as well.
What's better than to have our students, stay in Rockford and come to these great companies that are here, and we want to promote all of the great things that our town has to offer.
As a junior, Stokes says being paid a decent wage is important because she has responsibilities at home.
All the prices are going up and inclining a lot, and you're going to need that money. I want to help with my family, and I pay rent. We need to move, so I got a job just to help them.
Her end goal, though, will make all her hard work pay off.
I want to be a police officer, so like joining the Army and/or the National Guard, even the Navy. They have military police, so I want to go into that part of the Army.
Employers today were offering full-time, part-time, and summer positions. Eric, Mimi?
It was a special day for over 200 people and their families.
They were sworn in as U.S. citizens at Rockford's Coronado Theater this morning. They came from 48 different countries. They spent years working to obtain the status of U.S. citizen. Some have lived here for a long time. The process includes an exam that the chief judge of the U.S. District Court here in Rockford says many people born here would have a tough time passing. She adds these people have looked forward to this moment for a very long time.
They have strong feelings for their native lands, of course. They have often family and friends back there, but they're really hoping for a happy and productive life in the United States. And it's a very moving moment. It's a moving ceremony and a moving event for all of them.
Judge Palmer goes on to say the Coronado was the perfect location for the ceremony. She says it's hosted events from all over the world and symbolizes the roots to our local community. We officially hit 70 degrees today, warmest day of the year.
And the warm temps and sun, a perfect combination for local golfers. Courses in Oregon and Winnebago County open today. We caught up with a few golfers at Atwood Golf Course. The two say the earliest they played is the beginning of April, so they were very happy to get out and hit the greens.
So I've been itching at it. He called me this morning. I said, I didn't think you were going to call. But, we have a great time doing it. Just the biggest thing is getting out of the house when you're old farts. Oops, old guys.
Ed and Al play every Tuesday with 16 other people throughout the state line and into Wisconsin. Atwood and Silver Ridge in Oregon are planning to be open again tomorrow.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Well, as mentioned before, we reached 70 degrees today for the high temperatures, 70 degrees in Rockford here. We also had 70 degrees in Janesville, Freeport 69, Rochelle 67, DeKalb 68. So definitely some warmer temperatures out there here this afternoon, but even that still doesn't compare to where we were just 10 years ago. Last decade in 2012, we had this heat wave in the middle of March. We hit 80 degrees today, that year 10 years ago on this date. Now, the 70 degree today was the first 70 degree day that we have had since October 20th of last year, so that's quite a ways away, but we still have those nice temperatures out there here this afternoon, and because of that, we are also seeing a lot of this warmth being surged up from the south, definitely having a lot of that warm, moist air being brought up to us across the state line here, seeing those much warmer temperatures. We zoom in and take a closer look. Those temperatures dropped off a couple of degrees, but still pretty warm out there. 68 in Rockford, 67 in Freeport, 65 in Monroe. So definitely hanging on to those warmer temperatures here this afternoon. Our weather watcher Bob did report a temperature of 69 degrees just southeast of Rockford. Now those temperatures will drop just a little bit during the overnight tonight behind a cold front. That cold front is giving us a little bit of cloud cover here this afternoon. This is our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera of Rochelle. Seeing that cloud cover there ahead of that front, we will see that continue to progress on here into the afternoon. Here's that front we're watching right now as it pushes a little bit closer. Could bring us some scattered showers into the day tomorrow and definitely some cooler temperatures. We can time these out on Futurecast here this afternoon. We get a lot of clearing skies early, but then we increase that cloud cover into the day. A lot more of that rain beginning to work its way into the afternoon tomorrow. It gets a little bit more widespread as we get later into the night and even into the day on Friday. That's when we get a little bit more of the heavier rain. Now look at these temperatures still in the 30s. So this is a very, very cold rain during the day on Friday. Might even see some mixed precipitation, especially to the north where temperatures are a little bit cooler. We have temperatures just in the mid-30s. We could see some of that mixed precipitation during that period of time as well. As we push on forward, we also see some of that more of that mixed precipitation as the system kind of wraps its way around. Some more of that colder air working its way in. We might see some mix, maybe even some snow showers into the day on Saturday. So with that, this is a little bit so to break down some of this. Thursday, we are seeing those lighter scattered rain showers. Friday, more of that widespread rain. And then Saturday, during the early part of the day, that's when we could have some of that mixed precipitation working its way in. So overnight tonight, still down to 45 degrees, staying dry for the part of tonight. But tomorrow, that's when those rain showers start to work their way in. 56 degrees for our high temperature in Rockford. 7-day forecast does show those warmer temperatures behind all of this system. There's that system with cooler temperatures through Saturday. Much warmer headed into the first day of spring and more precipitation expected middle of next week.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
Cubs fans need something to get excited about this baseball season besides sitting in the sunshine at Wrigley Field. The Cubs have delivered. They have a deal with the best position player in Japan, Seiya Suzuki. It's a 5-year deal worth $85 million. That'll make Suzuki the highest paid position player ever from Japan in Major League Baseball. Is he worth it? Well, he did it all in Japan. Last season, he had a .317 batting average. He hit 38 homers and drove in 88 runs. He's also great defensively in the outfield. He's won multiple Gold Gloves. And he has speed. He stole 25 bases a couple years ago. And this might be the best part. He walks almost as much as he strikes out. Last season, he walked 87 times and struck out only 88 times. He should fit in nicely in an outfield with Ian Happ and Jason Hayward. And SUZUKI is 27 years old, so he should just be entering his prime. He can help the Cubs this year, while also still being an excellent player in a few years when the Cubs are hopefully contenders again. Maybe SUZUKI will struggle with MLB pitchers, but he's worth a shot. I give the Cubs 2 thumbs up for this signing. Now that the high school basketball season is in our rearview mirror, let's take a look ahead to next season for the Nick 10 boys. Which teams right now look like top contenders? In my opinion, it's the team that finished on top of the Nick 10 this season, the Auburn Knights. Yes, the graduate conference MVP Rob Chaney, but they'll be loaded. Big man Mike Jones should be dominant, returning for his junior season. Adrian Agee is back to give the Knights a sniper from the arc. Rob Chaney's younger brother, Rakim Chaney, should step up and be a force at guard. Brennan Horton-Lee and Terry Horton-Walls will be back, and there are rumblings the Knights could be adding another major transfer player from another Rockford school. That's a topic for another day. Another team that looks like a top contender next season is Onondaga. The Indians lose point guard Owen Hart and 6'9" Dominic Camisso. But they'll return 2 other big bodies in Brandon Beck and Braden Savitsky-Lynn. And Cole Warren will be ready to step up as a more featured player on the perimeter on the wing. And the Guilford Vikings, they took a big step up this season and finished in a tie for second place. They should be strong again with the trio of Makai Doby, Malachi Johnson, and Marquez Jordan returning, among others. And I'm also hearing rumblings that the Vikings could be adding a key transfer player from another Rockford school. Again, we'll have to wait and see if that does transpire. But that's my early outlook for the Nick 10 boys for next season.
Thanks for staying with us. The first one, interactive radar from Rockford Auto Glass. Not showing anything yet, but that's set to change in the next couple of days. We have a cold front coming through, could bring us some scattered rain showers tomorrow. More widespread into the day on Wednesday. Then by the time that we get, or Friday I should say, then by the time we get into Saturday and the rest of the weekend, we dry back out. Another chance for rain coming on Tuesday and Wednesday next week.
All right, thanks, Jordan.
And thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.